How many times have you found yourself in a meeting with a potential customer, you're talking and everything sounds like it's going great until you get to pricing? And sometimes when you give your price to your potential customer, they may get extremely angry and completely feel like the price is too high. And in these type of scenarios, the deal can actually die right there. Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Patrick Dang here. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how you can handle the objection your price is too high. This is gonna be great for you, especially if you ever struggled with pricing and talking about that, because as you know, customers can be very sensitive to pricing. So we're gonna show you exactly how you can deliver pricing and handle this type of objection. Now, before we go ahead and get started, make sure you give this video a like because it really does help the algorithm recommend this video to more audiences. And if you want to see new videos every single week, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you want to get notifications, hit that notification bell. So that said, let's go ahead and dive into exactly how you can handle the objection your price is too high. Now, the first step that we want to cover when you're handling this objection is really to reflect on the product or service that we're offering and think, is our price actually too high? Because in some scenarios, sometimes you may be selling something and charging a way higher price than you actually should be. Let me give you an example. So there are a lot of, let's say, website designers out there who will say, hey, I'll build you a website for $10,000. Now, from a customer's perspective, paying $10,000 for a website is actually quite expensive, especially if there's so many ways to do it yourself using templates like Squarespace, Shopify, WordPress, and things like that. You can probably set one up in the weekend for maybe like $50 or even for free. So if you're charging way too high based on the value you are delivering, then you obviously should knock your price down because you want to base your price on value. So the first thing, like I said before, make sure your price is actually fair so you don't run into these type of objections and you're not ripping people off. And when it comes to pricing, here's a very simple way to think about it, right? So basically, whatever you're selling, you have a certain level of value. How much value are you delivering for your customer? Now, if you are charging a dollar amount that is equal to the value that you are delivering, then that's a fair deal, right? But what you want to do is you want to make the customer feel like the value that you are providing is a lot higher than the price that you are asking for. So this is perceived value. So if the customer feels like they have to pay so little to get so much, of course they're going to buy from you, and of course you won't have an issue when it comes to pricing. Now we're going to move into step number 2. Sometimes the prospect or the customer still feels like the price is too high, and so here is how you are going to handle that objection, and that is assuming that the value you deliver is equal to the price you're asking for, or the value, perceived value, is higher than the price you're asking for, okay? Now, when the customer or client tells you your price is too high, the first thing you want to do is not react right away. Sometimes we have this fight or flight response and automatically we want to say something like, no, our price is not high, blah, 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 blah. And then you get into this friction and argument, and then that doesn't lead anywhere. So instead of responding right away, take a moment to pause and breathe and really reflect on your emotions that you're feeling, right? You might feel like you want to, clap back, but instead use that energy and channel it into another place and actually look at these objections as opportunities, because it's actually a blessing for a customer to tell you that your price is too high. That means something somewhere during the sales process, information was miscommunicated and they don't see the value that you're offering. So by them telling you, it gives you more information to better navigate the situation so that you can then position your product or service again as something that is worth the price that you're asking for. So what you want to do instead of fighting back is remain calm, okay? And then when you respond to the customer, first you want to thank them that they actually are letting you know that the price is too high, and then you want to navigate into what you're going to do next. So let me give you an example. So if a customer tells me my price is too high, I can say something like, okay, I appreciate the feedback, and I understand that you feel my price may be too high. Now, just so we're both on the same page, why do you feel like the price is too high? So in this situation, I'm remaining calm, thanking the customer, and then what I'm doing next is asking the customer why they feel the price is too high. Now, there may be a lot of reasons for why a customer thinks your price is too high, but the truth is you actually just need to get to the truth and understand why before you can even handle that objection. Other ways to say it is, what kind of price were you expecting? Or what would be a fair price to you to move forward, right? So these are all questions that will get the customer to tell you what they were expecting in the price point. And then basically, if there's a gap between what you want and what they want, you have to uncover why exactly the customer is valuing whatever you're selling so low, and how can you bring that perceived value up so that your pricing actually makes sense. So sometimes when you give a price and the customer gives a price, sometimes you just have to negotiate and meet somewhere in the middle, and so both sides are happy. However, the other way to do it is to, again, make the prospect feel like the value that you deliver is much more than the price that you are asking for. Because the main reason for why someone says your price is too high is because they don't see the value that you're delivering. So you have to show them what that value is. And there are many ways to do this. So we're gonna move into the next step, which is pretty much making the prospect feel confident in their decision to move forward, and basically increasing your perceived value of your product or service. Now, for, let's say, if you're selling something that's very ROI driven, return on investment driven, then this is going to be really easy, right? Because I'll give you an example. So let's say I'm selling coaching services, helping people get more clients, okay? So let's say I charge, I'm just making hypotheticals up here. Let's say I say, okay, I'm going to train you and your team for a whole day if you give me $5,000, okay? $5,000 for 1 day of training, right? The customer might say, oh, that's extremely high. I wasn't expecting a price like $5,000 for 1 day of training, okay? And in this scenario, you say, okay, that's totally fair. I understand that $5,000 may seem like a lot for training, right? You think the customer understand where they're coming from, and then you want to maneuver it so that they understand the value that you give. So if you say, okay, look, yes, I charge $5,000, but let's focus it on you. You know, if you were to take this training and you were to able to just close one more client just because of this training, how much would that client be worth to you? The client might say, or the customer you're talking to might say, well, if we close one deal, each deal is actually worth about $20,000. So yeah, we would make $20 if we took your training. Okay, so now back to me. I say, okay, look, I'm charging $5,000, okay, which I feel is fair. And if you close one client based on what you're learning from me in that 1 day, you're gonna be able to close a $20,000 client. So right off the bat, you're already making a $15,000 profit just based on taking this training. So stepping out of that role play, if you kind of look at it from that perspective, now the customer, you know, because they're getting, you know, in this example, a 4x ROI, meaning if they give me $5,000, they're gonna make $20,000. That is obviously a no-brainer, right? Of course, they're gonna take your deal because they're making so much money, then they have to pay you. Now, the reason for why they wouldn't take the deal is because they don't believe you, and they don't believe that you can get them the results that you are promising, right? That's when it gets into things like pay per performance or some kind of guarantee. And if you don't want to do guarantees, then you really have to bring up examples of customers that you helped in the past who you've been able to get a similar result to what you're promising the new customer, and then they're going to feel a lot more confident that you can actually do the job, assuming again that you should be able to do the job for whatever you're promising. So it doesn't always have to be money driven, right? Sometimes instead of helping other people make more money, you might be saving them time or bringing joy and happiness into their life, depending on what product or service you're selling, right? So you just have to make it seem as if the value, the dollar amount that someone is paying you, right, in exchange for the value that you're giving, you want to make sure the value you give is so much greater than the price that they're paying. You can apply this technique to all types of things. So if you're selling expensive golf clubs that cost, you know, thousands of dollars, right? So in that scenario, what you want to do is you want to sell the joy of how much better their golf will be if they buy this type of equipment, right? And maybe they value golf a lot and things like that, and they're gonna be willing to pay thousands of dollars just to get their game a little bit better because they value that. For other people, it might be collecting sneakers, you know, spending a lot of money on sneakers because it brings them a lot of joy and happiness. So the theme here is all you need to do when you're handling objections when it comes to pricing, or when a customer tells you the price is too high. First, again, you want to understand why they feel your price is too high, because sometimes it's just a miscommunication in value. And then from there, you want to thank the customer, understand their perspective, and then reframe the situation in a way where your product or service actually seems like it delivers much more value than the price that you're offering. And then from there, it's a no-brainer for the customer to purchase your product or service. And to simplify that, you just got to make the customer feel like whatever you're selling is worth it. If it's worth it for them, then they are going to buy it. And that's pretty much the summary of this entire video. So with that said, if you made it to the end of this video, make sure to give this video a like, because every like does count, and I really do appreciate your support. If you want to see new videos every single week, make sure you subscribe subscribe and hit that notification bell. And in the comments, one thing I'm really curious to know is what's one objection that you're constantly facing that you want to get over or you need to figure out? And if you put in the comments, I'm gonna read it. I do read every single one, and I will make a video about how to handle that objection in the future. So once again, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate all the support. My name is Patrick Dang, and I am going to see you guys in the next video.